The most famous horror movie is based on true stories. Incredibly, not one of us wants to believe that some of the horror movie that aired extreme terror in our hearts derived from realistic and true stories. Yeah. Is no horror movies, all woven of imagination, even more horror movies that influenced the viewers and sown terror in their hearts taken from true stories. Here are some of them. Note on this list: Psycho, 1960. Horror film based on the novel by Robert Bloch, who created the character, Norman Yates, to be the protagonist, inspired by the story of a serial killer in Wisconsin, Ed Gein. The Hills Have Eyes, 1977, one of the most frightening films discussing in the history of cinema. The story revolves around a family of cannibals. The film is based on the myth of the Alexander Swanee, between the leader of the clan, consisting of 48 people, lived in the 16th century in Scotland. This clan has gained her fame from the massacres, mass murder and skeletons stationed them. Jaws, 1975, one of the most famous horror films, which is based on the novel Jaws by Peter Bianchi, which tells the story of a fisherman from the Long Island was able to catch a fish. Great white shark attacked people. The Silence of the Lambs, 1991. Also here is also Ed Gein, cutthroat source of inspiration to other novel called Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris, where you talk about the novel assassin known as Ted Bundy. A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. Horror movie for teenagers is a nightmare chasing teenagers around the world. The viewer believed that the fictional story, but the director and writer stressed that inspired by the story of a group of teenagers Cambodians, who died because of their nightmares. Their story has been published in the Los Angeles Times and was inspired by them. Wes Craven awful film, The Exorcist, 1973. This film speaks about evil spirits and how to expulsion, which is based on a real story of a young boy haunted by an evil spirit, then bring the pastor and the church to expel the evil spirit from within. Dead Ringers, 1988. The film tells about identical twins, Elliot and Beverly, is inspired by the true story of Stuart and Cyril Marcus, where the twins suffered from addiction and their mother, which is found dead from the pain of drug withdrawal. It is one of the most controversial films so far, is difficult for many to see. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 2003. The film talks about the fearsome massacre taking place in the Texas Electric Saw, but the hero of the film raises to face is inspired by the personal and realistic. True, the plot is fictional, but the central character is inspired by serial killer was arrested in possession of masks of human skin. Hard Candy, 2005, a movie about revenge girls suspected of sexual offenses, and are thus torture them. The film also considerable controversy both among the public or the critics, because of photographic amounts to torture and sexual accusations of the film. Producer of the film has been inspired by the idea of a story he heard about a woman from Tokyo dragged men out of sex to torture them or retaliate against them. The Zodiac, 2005. Zodiac, amongst thugs and murderers in history and the most popular, and that his story was a source of numerous books, films and plays. Zodiac was an employee of San Francisco in the 70s and was sending letters to newspapers explaining his crime. This case is one of the most mysterious in history, which caused embarrassment to the San Francisco police issues.